King decides to opt in, not opt out, opt in to his senior season at the University of Miami, which does not happen very often at the University of Miami. So we're truly happy about that.
Looks like a sixth season for him. 4 at Houston, 2 at Miami. And the statement that all Miami fans have wanted to hear and that we've been speculating about for quite some time, people asking us questions, probably 10 times more times to you than to me, but I've certainly heard it a number of times about his status for 2021. So we can end the speculation, injury, God forbid, about who's going to start up that first series against the Alabama Crimson Tide in 2021. It's De'Ara King.
Hey, Mark, eventually, if you want your program to get where we want our program to be, I mean, you got to play games like that. And not only that, you got to be able to have players like this come back. I mean, pop quiz for you. Who was the last senior starting QB for the Miami Hurricanes?
Senior. We're not going to consider Malik Rozier a senior?
That's actually good. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Malik Rozier. Yeah.
Okay.
You're right. Malik Rozier.
I know we got yanked a few times.
Yeah. And then, of course, he also didn't finish the whole season. I think halfway through that season, N'Kosi Perry was already our starter. But basically what I'm saying is we've had a while where you get a matriculation. I mean, you also had Stephen Morris, but he ended up having the Achilles ankle issue in 2013. We didn't have Brad Kaya, who could have came back and did big-time stuff. Before that was Ja'Cory Harris, and he had his best statistical season under Coach Ted Fish his senior year. So having a signal caller in the way that we haven't had it at QB, someone who's been in the system for a little bit, and now they hopefully get a whole spring and off season together, or at least some form of it, due to COVID probably still being around for maybe a year or so, who knows? So it'll be something eerily similar to a regular spring and training camp going into 2021 versus Alabama in August. So I'm excited. I'm not saying he's going to win the Heisman. I'm not saying we're going to win the Coastal. I'm not saying any of that stuff. I just really want to see how this system is going to be with the full off season. Because, having to do this to implement offense is not the best thing. You got a brand new offensive staff, a brand new starter at QB. And this was the only way that they could meet via Zoom. And it's easier when your team is already put together. It's not easy when you're trying to build something. So we're super excited about it.
So Ja'Cory Harris would be the last quarterback that you would consider to have been the starter from game one through the end of the season, never benched, never seriously threatened.
To a certain extent, though, because if you remember, his senior year started off very shaky because of permissible benefits. He could not play in the Maryland game. It was Stephen Morris's debut as a starter for that game. And the Miami Hurricanes lost was it Veterans Day? It was a Monday kickoff. Weird. Like Maryland came out in all red, went back and changed uniforms and came out in all black.
Wait a minute. Weird. This was the first game of the season?
The very first game of the season.
Labor Day.
Labor Day. There we go. Not Veterans Day. Labor Day. Yes. So, at the end of the day, and yeah, we did lose that game, but it is what it is.
So, folks, this is a personnel situation that people across the nation, college football fans, are going to have to track for their own specific team. Everybody's personnel, when you combine the transfer portal, this next year of eligibility that they're granting seniors, and with everything else going on, still about 10 to 15, 20% of the available recruits still have yet to be signed. I counted, I won't even say now because I forget. I went through the ESPN 300 to count how many guys are still available. So they're going to be major personnel announcements and news every day during the offseason.
Yep. I mean, Mark, was it over 200 players into the transfer portal this week in of itself? It's just, and you know what? I'm all for player, your ability to do that. And I'm not a traditionalist by any means. I think that you have to adapt and you have to fix your rules to modern day. I prefer you to be modern in the way that you approach things. So I try not to comment on people entering the transfer portal, even Canes. because at the same time, we're not there. We don't know what's going on in this young man's head. We don't know what's going on with this young man personally. And sometimes the program is just not a fit for that person at a particular time in their life. But it's crazy. It's crazy to see all these players who, some South Florida young men who, spent at the University of Miami and disrespect the University of Miami, and they go off to, name blank here school, and then you literally see them 3 months later in a transfer portal back home taking pictures in front of a gas station, talking about how good it is to be back in the crib when you could have been here helping us build our program. So, we'll see. We will see.